stamp set. It's called Shaded Summer. And like I mentioned, this is in the annual catalog and it's for purchase. And you can see it's some beautiful flower images and a little sprig. And then actually my favorite part of the stamp set is the words, the nice words and the beautiful font. And then as of 3rd of August and through the end of September, these dies will also be available that go with the stamp set. So you've got the outline dies that go with the images. And then we also have some additional dies. Sorry, I die cut them out so that you could see them better, what they look like. So you have a solid and a detail of a flower and a side flower, a leaf, and then a little extra daisy and leaf to tuck in with those. So this one will be free with qualifying purchase. It's a level 2 celebration gift. So let's make a project now, and we will start with, big surprise, all my cards tend to be with white in the last year, a white card base, and this is 8¼ inches by 5½ inches. And then I'm gonna have a couple of pieces of Coastal Cabana. Coastal Cabana is kind of my favorite color at the moment. And these pieces are 5 inches by 3 5/8 inches. And then this one here is just slightly smaller. So it's 4 7/8 by 3½ inches. And I have embossed this piece with the Pretty Flowers embossing folder, one that I really like. I just think it's so pretty. And I'm just going to do a little something to that. I'm going to use a white ink pad. Now my white ink pad is quite dry, and I think that it works better with a dry one. So when you buy the white ink pad from me, you get an uninked pad and then a little bottle of the ink. So you actually fill it yourself, so you can control pretty much how wet it is. So this one I've left quite dry so that I can just brush it onto things like this, and I'm not going to get smears of ink, and I can control a little bit better how much is on there. So that may not be really, I think actually you can see it pretty well. So just those raised parts are now just that tiny bit lighter, and they just show up that bit more. So the white ink pad is great for a lot of things, but particularly using in conjunction with your embossing folders like this. And then I'm going to do another little technique, and this is something I showed on a video a long time ago, maybe a 1.5 years ago, maybe more. So I want to have a mat of Coastal Cabana, but I want it to be just a little bit darker, but not a different color cardstock. So what I'm going to use is my Coastal Cabana cardstock and my Coastal Cabana ink, and I'm just going to run my ink pad along the edges here. Got a little heavy-handed there, but that's okay. So all that's doing is darkening the cardstock, and I only need the edges, but it's still the same color, if you know what I mean. So it's not a completely different blue or anything. And then when I mat that, I've got a slightly darker edge, but it is, like I said, the same color. So let's go ahead and put those two together. Okay, and then we'll put that onto our card base. You could put it up on dimensionals. I think just for speed in a video, I'm going to adhere it. But one little tip is if you just put glue or tape through the middle and not right to the edges, then the edges kind of sit up a little bit. So you get kind of the look of a half a dimensional sort of, so not completely flat, but not as high up as if you'd put it on dimensionals, if that makes sense. Okay, we'll just center that as best I can. I can see on the screen that it's not quite centered. It's hard when where I'm sitting because it's quite far in front of me. Okay, then from there, I want to take a little piece of Whisper White. So this card layout, I've used completely different colors and images and stuff, but this layout is inspired by Tammy Wilson, who's an Stampin' Up! Artisan designer, and she does some beautiful work. So before I do anything more to this, I'm going to stamp it using Memento Black, this one that says Love You Friend, and this is from that stamp set, the Shaded Summer. Beautiful font, as you can see. And before I add to that, I'm going to wrap my ribbon around. And so what I'm going to do here is leave a long tail, maybe longer than that, so I can tie a bow. And I've wrapped it around a couple times. So I've wrapped it a couple times, and now I'm just going to tie it into a bow on the front. If I weren't on video, I would fiddle with it until it was right, but I'm going to put some linen thread on there, and then I'll get out the glue dots. Okay, so I'll just tie some linen thread through there as well. I do recommend that everyone have some linen thread. It just really adds some nice natural texture, and it goes with virtually any project. I mean, there's some, like if you were doing a black and white project, then probably not, but okay. And then I'll trim those, oops. And then I will get my glue dot, make that bow sit where I want it to sit. Okay. Then, whoops, what I'm going to do here is I have used the Color and Contour dies. It's a set of rectangles that have different scallopy type of edges. And so what I've done is I've just used the one edge to create a scalloped finish or edge here. So, and I've used the In Color Vellum, another favorite product. I just love the softness of it, and it's really, really shimmery. You probably can't see it in the video, but when I take photos, you'll be able to see it's really, really shimmery. And then we'll put this up on dimensionals. So I'm using Evening Evergreen with the Coastal Cabana. It's one of my favorite color combinations, that really dark green with the bright turquoisey type of color. I just like this. Kind of nautical looking, but it's kind of monochromatic looking, but not, you know, it's more, a little more interesting than all the same color. Okay, then we want to add sort of our main images, and I wanted to use those dies. So what I did was I created some paper. This is shimmer white, and it does have some color on it already, but you could just get your paper wet. It doesn't matter that there's color on there. And then you can use Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent. It had Soft Succulent on the brush, so I don't think I need to put any more on there. So what you do is you squeeze the bottom of your ink pad with your thumbs, and then when you open it up, you'll have this puddle of ink in your lid. So just pick some of that up and brush that on. And you can make quite a solid color, or you can make it kind of variegated. You can do several layers and just create kind of a palette of color there. So I've already done that, and so what you do is you'd let that dry or use your heat tool, and then I used the leaf die and cut out some leaves, and I've got those here, these, and so we'll just put those up on our little strip here. So that's one way. If you don't have a particular color of cardstock, or perhaps you don't want the solid color cardstock, you want something that's a little more visually interesting, then if you have that shimmer white paper or watercolor paper, you can just kind of create your own and create the look that you like and want, and that goes with your project. So I've got the Evening Evergreen and the Soft Succulent up at the top, so I'm bringing in those greens to complement the little strip here that I've got at the bottom. And I think I'll just have it like that. And then we just want to add some embellishments. And so I'm using the Pool Party Artistry Bloom sequins, and then the In Color gems, which I'm finding that these gems actually go with quite a lot. So we'll just add some of these in here. And we'll use that dark green one. It just shows up a little bit better than the Soft Succulent or the more pale green. So just something like that. And then inside your card, you can put on another leaf. So hopefully you like that. The reason why I chose the leaves is because you've got the floral in the background. And when I was playing around with it earlier, it felt like too many flowers, but that's just my opinion. Of course, there's lots of ways to do different things, and if you like that, then fantastic. But that was my thinking, and it was a good way to use the leaves. So that was the one that I made earlier. They're virtually the same. There's really not any difference with those. So let me show you a couple of other samples that I made today using this set. Well, actually I've made over the last few days. So this is one that I did with my team, and I've done it in a few of my classes. So this is using that main image in the shaded summer and then die cut out. And we've just used our Stampin' Blends to color that in, and everything is, as you can see, gray or black or white. And the flower buds are just this pop of color. So hopefully you like those. Do you like the red one or the yellow one better? I actually couldn't decide. I think I kind of lean towards the yellow, but they both look great. And these papers are the hand-penned papers, but done in black and white, or actually gray and white. And these will be a celebration gift as well. They will be a level 1 celebration gift, so you can look for those on the 3rd of August. Okay, then another sample. This one is the one that I mentioned before, that I was playing around with the rainbow combinations. Let's see. They're just slightly different from each other. So this one, there will be a video for this, like I said, in 24 hours. But basically what I've done is I've used the solid die and created a template through which I sponged all the rainbow colors, and then just took the white flowers and put them over top. So that was actually quite fun to play with, and look for that video, because I think it's a really simple idea but really, really effective. Okay, and then my last one to show you is probably my favorite of the bunch. It's very soft, so you may not be able to see all the detail, but I will put up photos. What I've done here is I've stamped the flowers randomly here in this background in Versamark, and then used the chalk pastels to add the color to it. So it's very, very soft and subtle, and then just accented with, you know, just a bit of color and the black and white and the one big flower die cut to complement it, and use the matte black dots to set that off too. So I will do, I think, a Facebook Live just on using the pastels. So we'll save that technique to show you another time. So let me know which one of these is your favorite. I'm thinking this one's my favorite, so you can tell me which one you like. And leave me a comment saying hello or something that you liked. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next week at 7. If you have any questions, leave them below or get in touch, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.